Good morning. It's a beautiful day here in North Dakota, and I'm going to show what I've done with my filters recently.
Yeah.
And I'm showing this one here is how I make them now. I've made some improvements on them. I used 2 styrofoam blocks in these now to strengthen the container. As you can see, that will take wear and tear a little better. You still fill these up. They still take probably about 2.5 gallons of pea rock to fill them up, and then you fill them right to the top. And then you can, and they'd weigh about 30 pounds when they're weighed down with the, and you can use this 2 ways. This fiber one, you could lay it on top inside on the fiber, on the pea rock, or you can put it on the top like this.
And why do you need the green fiber
That
filter?
takes some of the bigger particles out of the way and keeps it out. And so that's more for larger. Some have used it inside this way, and it's still, they'll last longer if you put them on the inside of this fiber like that on top.
Yeah.
They will probably last you all year or another year.
That looks a little easier to do, and you don't have to worry about the rubber.
Well, yeah,
around.
I still put those rubbers with their
Yeah.
like this in place on the top. This is how they look, and you still got that to lock. But I don't put the screws in here anymore because these are a better system to hold it. So that's the changes I've made. I still put these with to go down and to 1-inch pipe, but you can reduce it any way you want.
So, because some people have asked about using 1 1/4 inch or 1 1/2, but that's 2 inch to 1 inch there.
Right.
And that's
the
a
size.
fitting you made then, right? An adapter you made?
Yeah, I make those and put them in, and if you don't need them, you can just throw those away and go with your. Now there's
2 inch.
a way if you think you got this isn't going to give you enough water, you can put these together like this. They can have them face to face. I have a right hand and a left hand filter, and if you've got a bigger pump and need you can just use a T like plastic T. You can put those on there and then one on both places. Then if you got 2-inch pipe, you put that in here like this, and you could glue that onto this one, and then these could remain just to slide them together, and then you'd have to put a hook around here to hold them together, and maybe a cement block on each end to keep them in position.
Yeah. And now that 2-inch pipe, that long 2-inch pipe has slots in it, but that's not.
No, these are going to be made into shorter length.
Yeah, so you would put a regular solid 2-inch pipe
right
there, not a slotted one.
And then there's a couple other ways you can do this with 4-inch pipe. And my nephew has a submersible pump that he puts in a tube, and they come together this way, and that's been working really good for him. And they just slide the things in.
Right. And so these are 2 double filters, because you sell the single filter and a double filter on the website. But so now you got 2 doubles, which means
So
it's
that
kind of
should-
like 4. But
that should give you probably 60 gallons a minute if you got a
Yeah.
bigger pump that can handle that.
Right, because the 30-gallon, the two filter alone is about 30 gallons a minute.
And if you can come up with, you can use a wire or something, or the simplest way is to put the cement block on each side,
Yeah,
and you will hold in place.
right.
And so that's the way to put two together. Most of this is the one I sell the most,
The double.
the double, and I stick these on there if that's all you need. You can discard it.
That most people use have a 1-inch hose that goes on the end of that
Yeah, well, it's 1-inch suction line. Yeah,
1-inch suction line.
yeah, that would be it. And then you'd put your
Okay.
check valve before that. But
Before that, what do you mean? Where?
well, if you got a pump on the ground, you don't want you want to keep that prime to the pump, so you'd have to
Right.
put a check valve ahead of the
Right.
things. But I would have these so that they are easy to take apart.
So you have this, and then you have a hose with the check valve in it, and then it continues on and goes to the pump above ground.
Yeah,
Or if you have a submersible pump, you don't need the check valve and the primed and all that.
that's built right into the pump.
Right.
Check valve.
Right.
So
So if you have a submersible, it's a little simpler then, I suppose, huh?
yeah, my nephew's had that in Detroit Lakes, and that's worked real well for him. So,
Yeah.
but I thought I'd
Okay.
just review that,
Yeah.
and this.
And the filters are selling really well this year,
They can do
2021.
good. They're easy to handle. You take them out. If you start to get slowed down, and you just dump out the pea rock into another pail or someplace, and then get it dried out and washed out, the pea rocks, and put it back in, and it's good for the summer probably.
So they're easy to clean, and
Yeah,
they
that's
they
good.
don't plug up very easy, but they're easy to clean when you need to clean them.
Yeah,
And every year you're selling more and more of them. They're pretty popular. You've got a lot of good feedback that they work pretty well. So
so these
it's good.
If you're going to use two together, then I mark them left and right hand, and I make them both ways. It's just a matter of how I put it together.
Yep.